on a good old car guy weekend trip to the East Coast. We're starting with Radwood in Philadelphia, and we're going to see the Simeone Museum. Oh, look at that, state trooper already. No tickets. And we're going to, go up the coast to Connecticut, see Rapazzi Motor Works, the Carrera GT service facility, and then we're going to the Audrain Cars and Coffee and touring the museum.
Would you say one of your life's missions is to show people how safe speeding can be?
No. I just like speeding and I have to justify it. It is safe for the right people in the right ways, but not for everybody.
So then what is one of your life's missions as it comes to driving?
I think it's education. Like, I want people to be better drivers, especially the cops, because they do it for a living all the time and they're driving in high intensity situations. But part of justifying speeding in Cannonball is education. It's real facts. Facts like the majority of accidents are caused by driver error, not by speed. You know, dispelling the myth that speed kills. If I could do anything, the dream retirement job, it'd be some sort of advanced driver training. Like, I feel like that should be mandatory. I don't like government, but if I could mandate anything, it'd be that everybody has to go through advanced and continual driver training throughout the course of their driving career. We're at the Simeone Foundation Automotive Museum in Philly, and one of my favorite cars here is a 1916 Stutz Bearcat because it's got some Cannonball history. You might think it's impressive that we drive across country in Mercedes AMGs now, but Erwin Cannonball Baker, who is the reason we have the name Cannonball, this was the first car that he drove across country. Prior to this, he was setting records on motorcycles, but the Stutz company asked him to set an endurance record in this car. So he went from Los Angeles to New York in 11 days and 7 hours in a Stutz Bearcat. I believe that was his first automotive record. Over the course of his career, he then dropped it down to 53 hours was his final record, but this is one of the very early Cannonball cars. You can imagine driving across country in this. This is one of my favorite cars, a 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL. And a lot of people think of Mercedes as old man cars, and maybe rightly so given the current direction of the brand, but Mercedes has an incredibly rich history in racing and dominated the world racing stage until in 1955, actually, a tragic accident at Le Mans took them out of racing for 30 years. But prior to that, they made some absolutely incredible race cars. And actually the world record was just set by a 300 SL race car for $142 million, the most expensive car ever to sell. The XK120 got its name from its top speed. They made the XK120, the XK140, and the XK150, and all of those were denoted by their top speed. You wouldn't want to do 120 in an XK120?
No.
No? Hey, so we're finally here at Radwood, Philly. It took a while to get through the parking and ticket lines, but it was worth it. There's a lot of super rad cars here, and it's at Subaru Park, and Subaru brought out some awesome stuff. They brought a SVX 22B and some other really rad things. So there's some Lamborghini Diablos in there, my favorite. So come on by, check it out. Radwood, I ran into Grady Leno. He is the C2 C2C record. Yeah, that's right. He beat Mark Spence and those guys' record that were on the show last week. He also has the 48 state record, both in a Mercedes. So I'm proud of him for that. So he'll be on the podcast coming up. So keep your eyes on SwitchCast. I'll get my Carrera GT service.
Hey, what's
This
going
one I
on?
get my Porsche service.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
Good, you too.
Nice to meet you. Come on in, guys.
We're here with Jimmy Rapazzi of Rapazzi Motorworks. They are a Porsche specialty service shop, most notably known for the Carrera GT and their expertise there. And behind the camera here we have 3 Carrera GTs, a 918 and some pedestrian Porsches just in storage waiting to get serviced. And behind me we have a whole lineup of GT cars, mostly Carrera GTs, but a GT3 and an RS. I think this is a 900 horsepower turbo. And here we see the exposed carbon shell of the Carrera GT. This is what makes this car special. It's essentially a Formula One design for the street. That's the heart and soul. Well, it's missing the heart, but that's part of the specialness of the Carrera GTs. Some very rare specification ones here that you wouldn't maybe even notice. This one has factory red calipers. And as if you're a Porsche nerd, you know all ceramic brake cars have yellow calipers. But you know, if you ask the right people, and you are the right people, you can get some interesting options from the factory. And probably my favorite here, other than obviously the Carrera GTs, is this 993. Now it says 911 GT on the back. It is not actually 993 GT. It is an Andile car. I believe one of 17 made with the Andile motor and one of 4 with the factory GT2 body kit on it. This is a really, really cool car. That's my type of car. I like rowdy stuff that's not stock, and Andile has made some really, really incredible cars. They were obviously known for their racing engines and their race cars back in the 80s, but you still find an Andile powered 911 here and there. And I really want to hear this start up. Unfortunately, that's not what we're doing tonight. We're going to talk to the owner, Jimmy Rapazzi, and find out about this really, really incredible facility and how he gets to be known as the guy around the world to ship your Carrera GT.
This is like a great start to a day, man. In a Porsche with the top down, sunny day, 66 out, coffee.
Good morning. We're here at the Audrain Cars and Coffee. There's over 350 cars here this morning. It's a beautiful day in Rhode Island, and we're here by this 300 SL Gullwing. Well, no, actually it's not. It's a kit car, but it looks pretty good, and everybody thinks it's $1 million car. So what do you guys think about replicas? Do you think they're cool, or do you think they're like a fake Rolex? Somebody's trying really hard to impress somebody else. Daily driven. This sticker would actually mean something if it was on like a supercar. Time for a daily driven sticker on a daily driver car.
You know what I think I'm going to do? I was inspired by that daily driven sticker on that daily driver. I'm going to buy a Kia Sorento, put a daily driven sticker on it, because nobody would know otherwise. Hashtag Sorento moment.
All right, we are here for what we came here for, which is the Audrain Supercar exhibit. This is the McLaren F1, needs no introduction, one of 64 road cars, and very special example as well. They all are, it goes without saying. There's some really incredible cars here, Porsche 959S, Ferrari F40, Vector W8 twin turbo, Mercedes CLK GTR, Porsche Carrera GT, Bugatti Veyron, and some others. There's also a Tesla here, but it's a plaid. I don't know why that's even in here. Could have easily been a Ferrari F50 or something more supercar, but you know, I didn't put the display together. All that said, this is a really, really incredible grouping of cars. It was well worth the trip. It's only open for another week, but it is definitely worth checking out.
Come to an undisclosed location for a tour of the storage facility, the Audrain Museum. This is the cleanest Wagoneer I've ever seen. It's unbelievable.
Alright, this has been an absolutely epic trip with 5 car guys and some incredible destinations. We're finishing up here at the Audrain Annex storage facility, where there's an eclectic mix of all sorts of stuff, from a Ferrari 550 Barchetta to a Chrysler Imperial Airflow, smattering of collectible Porsches, and this interesting George Barris nail polish gold Corvette. Not my favorite one here, but certainly impressive. But it's been an incredible trip, exhausting, but we got to see some absolutely mind-blowing cars, meet some really neat people. I'd encourage you to just take a car guide trip sometime, line up some shows and museums, and get out and go for a drive. It's going to be an interesting drive home because the top cables on the Boxster got out of alignment, so when we put the top back up, it will not close all the way, so I can't close the windows all the way, and it beeps at me. So we'll have to sort that out when we get back. Just another foible of the the Boxster, along with the IMS bearing as well. But so it's not going to be a super pleasant ride home, and my producer Ethan's flying home, so I won't have a co-pilot. But whatever, it was absolutely worth it, and those types of things just make the trip into a little bit more of an adventure.